Storm Track 12 meteorologist Jonathan Went here tracking a nice mild afternoon across eastern North Carolina. So as we turn back towards the west, we are going to be tracking a cold front that will bring some changes in the store for us. I'll update your forecast as News Channel 12 at 5 starts right now.
Getting the facts right. This is a special edition of News Channel 12. Vote 2014.
It's a tight race between Kay Hagan and Tom Tillis for North Carolina Senate seat. The results of the race could affect the entire country.
Closer to home in eastern Carolina, we're keeping a close eye on several local sheriff's races. We have a preview of all the night's activity.
And former longtime News Channel 12 anchor Virginia Foy has died. She was the first African-American television anchor in eastern North Carolina. Good evening, I'm Valentina Wilson.
And I'm Wes Goforth. Welcome to News Channel 12 at 5. It is Election Day. It is finally here. It could mark a big change tonight in the United States Senate. People all over the country are watching North Carolina's race very, very closely. The race between Kay Hagan and Tom Tillis is very close. News Channel 12's Jamie McCutcheon is here tonight to help us understand more on how the race could affect the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. And let's put it real plainly, Jamie, if Senator Hagan were to lose tonight, it could tip that balance to the Republican Party.
It certainly could. West Republicans need 6 seats to take over that majority in the Senate. And right now, Democrats outnumber Republicans 53-45 with 2 independent senators. Democrats in 3 states are retiring, and experts believe Republicans will take over the seats in West Virginia, South Dakota, and Montana. Polls suggest Arkansas is also leaning Republican, which experts say leaves North Carolina and New Hampshire as those tipping points. Democrats need to hold on to their seats in each of those states in order to hold on to the majority in the U.S. Senate. Now, we're also keeping a close eye on the race in Virginia. If Democrats lose any combination of their seats in North Carolina, New Hampshire, or Virginia, it's likely they will lose control of the Senate. Wes?
Jamie, right now the race in our state between the incumbent Democrat Kay Hagan, the Republican challenger Tom Tillis, is very, very close. He's closed the gap, but what are we looking at right here on Election Day right now?
Well, as of yesterday, there's a Real Clear Politics poll which showed Hagan at 44.1%. Tillis at 43.4%, very, very close margin. That poll does use an average of 6 different polls. Now, it's also the most expensive race in U.S. Senate history. The Hagan-Tillis race has topped $100 million. Now, that's because of the cost of TV advertising in North Carolina and its status as a swing state. The question of whether Republicans will take over the Senate, we might not know that one tonight. Runoffs are possible in Georgia and Louisiana, so those results might actually not be known for a month. Depending on how many seats Republicans win tonight, they may not need those seats, though, in order to gain a majority. In North Carolina, a runoff is not required unless one of the candidates requests it. Wes?
And that could happen, Jamie, depending on how close it is, because a third-party candidate, Sean Hoff, is taking about 5% of the vote right now, so we'll have to wait and see. We may not know at the end of this night.
It is a close one,
that's
for sure.
All right, Jamie McCutcheon, thank you.
Close to 20 million Americans voted early this year. That's a midterm election record. Large crowds are heading to the polls today. And when all the votes are counted, the Senate could be in new hands, as Jamie just pointed out. ABC's Karen Travers is on Capitol Hill.
The rallies are done, the ads have aired, and now it's finally time to count the votes. Tonight may not produce a clear national mandate for Republicans. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Be sure to stay with us all night for special election night coverage. We'll have live updates throughout the evening and a wrap-up at 10 and 11.
Well, eastern North Carolina couldn't ask for better Election Day weather. Perfect for getting the vote out. Jonathan Wynn is tracking things tonight from the Weather Center. Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Wes, things, are pretty nice outside this evening. We'll talk all about that and plus more coming up here in just a bit.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. Well, less than a week now after losing our beloved Skip Waters, another News Channel 12 family member is gone tonight.
Former anchor Virginia Foy has passed away. Family members say Virginia died this morning. She worked at News Channel 12 for 26 years before suffering a major stroke in 2002. News Channel 12's Brian North is here to reflect on her life and those she touched. Brian.
Well, Val, it's been 12 years since Virginia was on the air as our morning anchor, but she was a pioneer, the first black news anchor in eastern North Carolina. Virginia was originally from Schenectady, New York, and she started working at WCTI in 1976.
Yeah. Boy, what a lady. That's all I can say. What a lady.
Yes, and so we are in grief again tonight. Virginia's family members tell us they are still working out the details for her funeral. We'll
get those to you as soon as we hear about them. Virginia Foy was 62 years old.
It is Election Day. Our election night coverage continues tonight. Now with News Channel 12's Leland Pinder.
Good evening, Wes. Leland Pinder here, joining you live from downtown New Bern. Following the race for Craven County Sheriff, Republican challenger Chip Hughes wants to unseat Democratic incumbent Jerry Monette. He's held the job for 20 years. We'll have a preview coming up next.
And a child born without a hand is getting a new one thanks to new technology and some students who are dedicated to using it to helping people.
And we're going to be tracking another mild day for your Wednesday, but don't get used to these temperatures. Another cold shot coming in for this weekend. I'll have all the details after the break.
Thank you for staying with News Channel 12 here on Election Day. I'm Wes Goforth.
And I'm Valentina Wilson. The race for Craven County Sheriff is one that we're watching closely tonight. Both the incumbent and his opponent are Craven County natives and law enforcement veterans. News Channel 12's Leland Pinder is live in downtown New Bern to talk about the candidates.
Good evening, Val. Good evening, Val. I'm here in downtown New Bern, just outside the Craven County Sheriff's or the Craven County Board of Elections. And one race that voters will decide tonight is who will be the next Craven County Sheriff, current Sheriff Jerry Monette or his opponent Chip Hughes. We'll know, hopefully, a little later tonight. For right now, live in downtown New Bern, Leland Pinder for News Channel 12.
All right, Leland, and Leland is going to stay on the story for us tonight and bring us some more coverage. The Board of Elections says the candidate who wins tonight typically takes office during the first week of December.
One of several important sheriff races we're watching tonight, and we'll continue our election coverage on Election Day after this. We're going to go to Lenoir County now tonight, where we're following another hotly contested race for the next sheriff. Current Sheriff Chris Hill did not win in the primary. Voters there are deciding on their new sheriff in this election. And News Channel 12's Amber Roberts is live outside the Lenoir County Board of Elections office with more on the race. Amber?
Two candidates are going head-to-head to be the next sheriff of Lenoir County. Reporting live in Lenoir County, Amber Roberts, News Channel 12.
Two more very capable candidates in that sheriff's race, Amber. Thank you very much. Amber Roberts tonight from Kinston and Lenoir County.
Here's a look at some of the election stories we're working on for News Channel 12 at 5:30.
I'm Katie Harris, and coming up at 5:30, you'll hear from both Onslow County Sheriff candidates and what they plan to do if elected to office. That will be live at 5:30.
I'm Rebecca Thurston. I'm out here in front of the Beaufort County Board of Elections, where all that they can talk about is this hotly contested race for sheriff. I'll have more on that coming up at 5:30.
All your top stories coming up in just a few minutes, so stick around for 5:30.
Well, a group of students are using a 3D printer to make prosthetic hands.
We show you a boy who's getting one of those hands and how he says it will change his life.
Well, some Durham, North Carolina students are on a mission now to help a classmate who was born without a fully developed right hand.
They will use a 3D printer to give the 12-year-old boy a new hand. Cheyenne Rodriguez shows us how.
Printers have come a long way. Instead of paper and ink, these high school students will be using a 3D printer to create a plastic prosthetic hand.
We're told Matthew should have his new hand in just a few days.
More amazing technology.
A great thing.
Helping us humans out. That's News Channel 12 at 5 tonight. Thanks for watching. News Channel 12 at 5:30 starts right now.